creature feature allows us to do anything. So I have a huge list of just, mythological creatures, cryptids, different things like that. And I'm just going to go and find, like, the history of where they started.
Yeah, okay.
So the first one on the list is werewolf. Because
classic.
I feel like werewolf's always been around, but I never knew where the werewolf came from.
Nope. Transylvania?
Right? That's what I thought, but I don't think it is. And this is from history.com, like historychannel.com, like their official website, to give them credit. So I'll go through this, read it. There's some cool stuff, some boring stuff, but I'll just get through it. So the werewolf is a mythological animal and the subject of many stories throughout the world, and more than a few nightmares. Werewolves are, according to some legends, people who morph into various powerful wolves. Others are a mutant combination of human and wolf, but all are bloodthirsty beasts who cannot control their lust for killing people and animals.
Sounds like me.
Right? Sounds like me with the puss.
The lust for killing.
The lust for clam smashing. So the early werewolf legends, it's unclear exactly when and where the werewolf legend originated. Some scholars believe the werewolf made its debut in the Epic of Gilgamesh, the oldest known Western prose, when Gilgamesh jilted a potential lover because she had turned her previous mate into a wolf. Werewolves made another early appearance in Greek mythology with the legend of Lycaon. I think it's Lycaon. According to the legend of Lycaon, the son of Pelagus angered the god of Zeus when he served him a meal made from the remains of a sacrificed boy. As punishment, the enraged Zeus turned Lycaon and his sons into wolves.
Ooh.
Werewolves also emerged in early Nordic folklore. The saga of the...
Sorry, Salty.
What did he say?
He said, I'm letting you know I'm here now, like omelet the egg.
God damn.
Then he said, my time was all scrambled up.
Put yolks on me, I guess. Damn, you came in with the fire.
Excellent.
Excellent. Werewolves also emerged in Nordic folklore. The saga of the Volsungs tell the story of a father and son who discovered wolf pelts that had the power to turn people into wolves for 10 days.
Where the fuck do I get that?
Right? The father, son...
Jacob my ass around.
Right? Do you get fucking 15-pack and look sexy?
Belly's ass. Belly's
bellies. You can eat the belly of my ass any day. Let's go.
Is that just the belly button?
Yeah.
The asshole of the belly.
The father-son duo donned the pelts, transformed into wolves, and went on a killing rampage in the forest. Their rampage ended when the father attacked his son, causing a lethal wound. The son only survived because a kind raven gave the father a leaf with healing powers.
What? Thanks, Raven.
What I think is interesting, there's more to this, but I always find it interesting that there's like through time in complete different areas of the world, there's similar stories.
Right.
I've always wondered why.
It's very fucking strange.
So some of the infamous werewolves, many so-called werewolves from centuries ago were in fact serial killers. And France had its fair share. In 1521, Frenchmen Pierre Bugat, very French name, and Michael Verdun allegedly swore allegiance to the devil and claimed to have an meeting that turned them into wolves. Or have a... Yeah, I don't get that. After confessing to brutally murdering several children, they were both burned to death at the stake. Burning at the time was thought to be one of the few ways to kill a werewolf. Giles Garnier, known as the Werewolf of Dole, was another 16th century Frenchman whose claim to fame was also an ointment? What is that? O-I-N-T? Mint?
Ointment? Yeah, seems like ointment.
Yeah, I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
You rub it on.
An ointment with wolf morphing abilities. According to legend, as a wolf, he viciously killed children and ate them. He too was burned. He too was burned to death at the stake for his monstrous crimes. Whether Verdun, or Garnier were mentally ill, acted under the influences of a hallucinogenic substance, or were simply cold-blooded killers is up for debate. But it likely didn't matter to superstitious Europeans during the 16th century. To them, such heinous crimes could only be committed by horrific beasts such as the werewolf. So the French definitely were scared of some wolf boys.
Yeah.
The Bedburg werewolf, Peter Stube, a wealthy 15th century farmer in Bedburg, Germany, maybe the most notorious werewolf of them all. According to folklore, he turned into a wolf-like creature at night and devoured many citizens of Bedburg. Peter was eventually blamed for the gruesome killings after being cornered by hunters who claimed they saw him shapeshift from wolf to human form. He experienced a grisly execution after confessing under torture to savagely killing animals, men, women, and children, and eating their remains. He also declared he owned an enchanted belt that gave him the power to transform into a wolf at will. Not surprising, the belt was never found. Peter's guilt is controversial since some people believe he wasn't a killer but the victim of a political witch hunt, or perhaps a werewolf hunt. Either way, the circumstances surrounding his life and death stoked rampant fears at the time that werewolves were on the loose. Then there's the classic shapeshifter werewolves, or skinwalkers, which we may or may not know a little bit about.
I am one.
Damn, that'd be so cool.
I just be mauling folks for fun.
Just for fun.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, you want to see something cool?
Some fucking buttfuck doesn't say thanks, so I hold the door for him, and I just
fucking eat him.
Fall him back inside. I think you forgot something, sir. What? And I chomp him.
Right, eat him up. Some legends maintain werewolves shapeshifted at will due to a curse. Others state they transform with the help of an enchanted sash or a cloak made of wolf pelt. Still others claim people became wolves after being scratched or bit by a werewolf. In many werewolf stories, a person only turns into a wolf when there's a full moon. And that theory may not be far-fetched. According to a study conducted at Australian's Calvary Master Newcastle Hospital, Jesus Christ, probably make some good money working there if the name's that long.
Mm-hmm.
A full moon brings out the quotation beast in many humans. The study found that of the 91 violent acute behavior incidents at the hospital between August 2008 and July 2009, 23% happened during a full moon. Now, I'm familiar with that stuff too because I had to do a research paper on full moon activity.
Your mom probably knows it. I think we've talked about that too.
Yeah.
Old folks home, weird stuff they do when their full moon's out.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. I couldn't really find anything that was cool, but I remember there's lots of studies and statistics showing that when there's a full moon out, crime's up, violence is up.
I can drink so much more booze.
Probably.
I just feel like I just want to look it up real quick. You can keep talking.
Well, and side note to this, we're apparently getting some blood harvest moon in next month or in a couple weeks that apparently is the true apocalypse ending to the world.
Cute.
According to religious folk.
Oh, here we go.
So
you can keep reading. I'm just going to look at this.
So it says talking about the 23% happened during a full moon, patients attacked staff and displayed wolf-like behaviors such as biting, spitting, and scratching. Although many were under the influence of drugs or alcohol at the time, it's unclear why they became intensely violent when the moon was full.
It's too fucking bright out at night. I'm just trying to get some sleep in.
I'm trying to fucking get a nap in.
It's fucking moonlight coming through my window.
So finally, they ask, are werewolves real? The werewolf phenomenon may have a medical explanation. Take Peter the Wild Boy, for instance, in 1725. Peter the Wild Boy.
He needs to eat Wild Man Forest.
Right? He was found wandering naked on all fours through a German forest. This sounds like you. Damn.
It's Tuesday night.
Damn, 1725, was this you?
Shit.
He died, and then you became... Damn.
They say there's a 70-year difference between, what is it? Where they come back as someone else.
Resurrection?
Not resurrection, they believe you...
Reincarnation?
Yeah, reincarnation, it's 70-year gaps or something, so maybe I gotta do the math.
It's close.
Maybe I'm Wild Boy Peter or whatever the fuck his name is.
Peter the Wild Boy. Yeah. Many thought he was a werewolf or at least raised by wolves. Fucking Mowgli? Peter ate with his hands and couldn't speak. He was eventually adopted by the courts of King George I and King George II and lived out his days as their pet in England. Jesus Christ.
That's fucked up.
Research has shown Peter likely had Pitt-Hopkins syndrome, a condition discovered in 1978 that causes lack of speech, seizures, distinct facial features, difficult breathing, and intellectual challenges. Other medical conditions that may have encouraged werewolf mania through history are lycanthropy, a rare psychological condition that causes people to believe they're changing into a wolf or other animal. So that's actually a legit, like, mental illness.
Mm-hmm.
Food poisoning, hyper something, a rare genetic disorder causing excessive hair growth, and then rabies, possible caused by, or rabies and or this could be possibly caused by hallucinogenic herbs.
Ooh, where do I buy these herbs?
Hey, I'm fucking howling at the moon, boys. Throughout the centuries, people have used werewolves and other mythic beasts to explain the unexplainable. In modern times, however, most believe werewolves are nothing more than pop culture horror icons, made famous thanks to Hollywood's 1941 flick, The Wolfman. Still, werewolves have a cult following. Werewolf sightings are reported each year, and werewolf legends will likely continue to haunt the dreams of people throughout the world.
That's like one... I want to look up some sightings.
Yeah, I've never...